Lionel Wendt, someone who needs absolutely no introduction, a strong proponent of the arts, culture and literature. His legacy lives on in the Lionel Wendt Arts Centre. Here to talk about Kala in collaboration with the Dialog Ch Arts Centre, Ranil Peiris and Ranil Silva. Hi.
Hi.
How are you both doing?
Very good, thanks.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So we'll start off with the question about Lionel Wendt himself. He's been a huge inspiration. He's been a filmmaker, a musician, a photographer. He's done it all, right? Is there something we don't know that you can shed light on?
Well, actually, because he's such a popular figure, or that his sort of charisma extended over the years, a lot of people have done so much research about him. So there is really no secrets as such about him. You know, he is obviously a very special human being, a very creative spirit, and he was a man well ahead of his time. I mean, I think really that is what more and more we are getting to find out, or coming to realize that he's really well ahead of his time.
Okay, so the Lionel Wendt Arts Centre has collaborated and had numerous events over the years. How do you sometimes select what kind of art you want to produce and support?
Well, actually, it's a couple of things. It's really there's an idea that comes out from the trustees, or they have some. We are governed by certain objectives, and so once we identify something that's needed to be done that meets our objectives, the rest is really mostly accidental, because it has to be a right fit, right? So when you get together with somebody, it has to work for the benefit of both parties, and so I think that is really. So it's really sometimes mostly an accident. But the idea, germinates from the trustees about that we need to collaborate on a particular aspect of the arts, or to bring the centre to a certain, to achieve certain goals. And so that's how we sort of basically get together with it.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about the Lionel Wendt Memorial Fund and the work that you do?
Yeah, so the fund was actually set up in the early 50s, right? And what happened was, it was set up by a person called Thornley and Harold Peiris, and there were some founding trustees, and 7 of them were appointed. And fairly soon after that, it got special status, which is to have as a trust. It was a non-for-profit trust, and after the trust was set up, the trustees decided that it was time to do something in his memory. And then what happened was, they knocked down the building that was here, which was Lionel Wendt's house, Alvarado, and that was knocked down to build a centre in his honor, in his memory. And it was obviously built with the idea of achieving what he really wanted to achieve with his art, which was to try to encourage people to take part in the performing arts, the visual arts, and all of that. So this centre really is a legacy to him, so that people can come and showcase their work to the public at large. And it is, we believe, relatively easily accessible to the public at large.
Okay, lovely. Ranil, tell me a little bit about how that came about.
Basically, as Ranil said, that we've realized as a trust, we've been actually managing the centre for a long time and operating the centre, as it were. And we realized that part of the objective of the trust is to propagate the arts, support the performing arts and the various arts. So as a result, we've started on a path of doing stuff like that. So we had the Lionel Wendt Festival of Arts, or the performing arts, and we had a festival recently where we had dance performances, Sinhala play, English play, and stuff like that. Similarly, art is an important aspect of our thing. Personally, I had gone to the Royal Academy in London for their summer show, and I thought it was a very inspiring exhibition. And coming back here, one of our requirements was we have the theatre, which is very popular, and then we have this gallery which is popular but not necessarily in the right space at the LDC. So, and we felt that theatre needed to come to life. So I suggested an exhibition based on the basis of the Royal Academy summer show. But when putting it together, the trust agreed with it. But when I contacted Saskia about finding the curators, etc. for it, she said she doesn't mind taking it on. So that sounded really good to me. Less work for me, and also got somebody who's engaged in the art. So really the exhibition itself is put together by Saskia and her South Asian galleries or whatever she has, and we and she is very much engaged with the art world. She's part of the Delhi Summit, she's part of the Dhaka Art Fair, those things, and also she's goes to this show called Freeze in London. So through that, she has created a good network of people, and then she was able to engage with them and also understand how this knows what should be done. Because she had also been in her head working on something of this magnitude. So that's how the whole thing came. We've actually, the idea was born and the idea was shared, and then it went to larger proportions in partnership with Saskia Fernando Galleries.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about some of the artists who will be featured?
So basically, for the first exhibition, this exhibition is curated by Miriam Begum, and we had Sandhini Poda, who's the curator of the Guggenheim in Abu Dhabi, guiding us. So that's how this level of the whole program. They decided to go with, I think, 4 sets of Lionel Wentz. That the force, like his technique, the way he looks at the human body, how he looks at the environment. So they've taken those pillars as the starting point for each of the exhibitions that you're seeing. So, and how Lionel Wentz's work in those areas have influenced numerous artists. And artists from the 43rd group like George Keith and Ivan Peiris, Manjushree, that lot, as well as contemporary artists like Monan Carter, Tenuara, Kingsley, and people like that. So it's a cross-section. So I would think that after a long time we have all the masters or the greats of yesteryear and the living artists of today showing work here. And also the program engages with lectures in the hall. So we've had different curators, different people talk about different aspects, including a lot of discussion on Lionel Wentz, the 43rd group, etc. Then we do curated tours, we're doing workshops, we're doing our pop-up dinners. The first one is tonight at Guinea, featuring Tenuara. So we created like a whole festival or an active program around color.
So a lot of these programs typically attract a certain demographic. How do you plan to ensure that, at least going forward, that this is more accessible to the larger general public?
I think that the larger general public is possibly the ones who are coming the most here.
Oh, okay.
So that's good. General public, as in people interested in the arts, like the students, like I believe there's a bus load of students from the Jaffna University coming, just purely to see the exhibition. So and then we've been working with the University of Fine Arts, etc., to have them come, and that's why we made it free for students and stuff like that. But yes, participation can grow. In fact, at the moment, I'm discussing with Saskia how we're going to move that up. Like we're trying to talk to the schools to get them in. Like today, I have arranged for a curated tour, and there are about 25 to 30 people who are joining the tour. So I would encourage people to sign up for a curated tour and come, because then your understanding of the exhibition will be greater.
So I think over the years, the Lionel Wentz Arts Center per se, or the Center for the Arts, has always been having its doors open to the public at large. I think I referred to it earlier on as well. It's not an exclusive or elitist type of place. People are very comfortable to come here, and we have observed even the Sinhala theatre and the Tamil theatre, or the vernacular, as you might want to call, they do so many productions here, and we try to price ourselves though it being a struggle sometimes, to keep it at a very good value. So I think our value that we offer the center for people to have their various, either the exhibitions or their performances, is relatively reasonable in terms of what is out there in the marketplace. So I think we've always had that, and Ranil Wendt was a kind of a, even though he may have been sort of a rather sort of artistic figure, or rather, but I think he was a very man of the
people. So when you talk of the larger population, I think if you take a look at the center, we have, I think every month we have several singular theatre productions. So it's preferred location for that kind of stuff. I thought when you're talking about the exhibition, we need to drive footfall.
So since this is the inaugural edition of Kala, have you had any plans of what you will do next time?
I think that the content of the exhibition is very much the domain of the curators and our collaborator, which is Saskia Fernando Galleries. So what they will do next time, I enjoy art, but I'm not competent to mount an exhibition.
I can say that for all the trustees, because the trustees have been mostly selected for the fact that they're trustworthy in a sense, and that they would have a creative, have a strategic vision for the center, right? And manage the center because it's a very valuable piece of real estate. And if you are commercially minded, you could put up a high-rise or something and really monetize it. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is very clearly for the arts, and it needed to be there for the arts. So I think our trustees don't have some of the skills maybe that we need to. So we need to outsource those, and that is why somebody like a Saskia, a young person. I mean, even if I was to make a sort of a flippant comment, the center opened, I think, its doors in '56 or whatever, and from '56 to say 2000s is a long time, right? So 70 odd years, and in the 70 odd years, things tend to get old, or people get old, and things get old. So by getting somebody like a Saskia involved, the trustees felt is a relatively good thing, because it's a young person, and if you can get young people and the trustees leave some of the content to her, we really can only give it direction, offer the center and give it direction. So the actual, what has been curated, what has been put on offer, we are not necessarily competent to do.
And it's not what we've selected. It's what the curator, you get a good guy, good person, professional, and then you leave it in their able hands to deliver. If we try to interfere with what we're going to end up with a half-baked product. In areas where we can provide them, so we are providing them the center, we looking after the financial aspects of it. Since I come from an advertising background, I'm helping with the communication side of it, work with Saskia to raise the money for it. Then that kind of activity we were involved in. But what you're seeing and what next year will be is completely under the guidance of the partners. One of the important things I think we've got is that, again, thanks to the collaboration that we've achieved, like the curators of MoMA, the curators of the Guggenheim, people from Christie's, and so many others like that have come for the exhibition.
And from them, I have had feedback. There is a great deal of excitement and wanting to do something to help the center. So in that, it's a big positive for us. We have a large archive of Ranil Wendt's work, and there again, like I said, our trustees, so say he comes from an advertising background, I come from a corporate background. We have a trustee who's from a finance background, we have a legal background, we have an architect. So we have a fair mix of people who can add certain strategic value. We have someone from the performing arts, but we need to go to the specialists to kind of get them to help us with the direction of what is the best in content. It's really almost like we are providing a hospital. we have to go to them and get the doctors to come and give the specialized treatment, whether it's a cardiologist or whatever. So if you look at it like that, it's a good analogy, I think.
So what's next for the Lionel Wendt Memorial Fund?
Well, we are going to try to do later on, again this year, we are going to try to somehow once a year do a performing arts festival.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we did one this last year, right? And we would like to see that improve. We are giving out the center on World, I think Theatre Day, is it? World Theatre Day or World Arts Day. We give the center free of charge. There is a program that is curated by one of our trustees, who is very famous in the performing arts, Silva. So they put together little skits, and so we give it out to artists for free, and actually even the patronage is also free. We may have to charge a small gate later, but I mean, this small amount just to at least cover our cost of running the ACs and things like that. But we have also other exciting plans for the center per se, in the sense, like I said, the center has become quite old, in the sense, old in age. It has been maintained quite well with the funds we've been able to somehow secure. But as a trust, we can't go to banks and borrow. So if we want to do a big project, we need to sometimes go to well-meaning sponsors, people who like the arts and things like that. And so we have a few ideas to change certain things about the center. And so we have some exciting plans. But like all things planned, sometimes
I think we want to, I think things like supporting students is something we need to look
proper
at.
scholarships.
To look at that. I think we need to do something with art. We've done smaller projects. This is possibly the biggest we've undertaken in that context. Then with theatre and other performing arts. So we would like to do stuff like that. And also we want to create a space where the art community or the artists community can come together. So that, like one of the things that we've just done along with Kala is brought barista here. Now that's a good move for us. So we are hoping that would lead to people coming and converging here for a coffee and a chat, so that it becomes an art center.
Then just coming to come and watch a performance or just to come and watch an exhibition, we would like it to be more living space, that people come and spend time. We do have what everybody remembers as the Art Center Club once upon a time. So some things on those sort of lines, something that will attract artists to come, to have discussions, to have conversations about art, about performance, and that kind of thing. So we are trying to create a kind of space where people will be comfortable to do that, and so there's also interesting plans, like Ranil also added, we would like to give a scholarship, because that's also part of our objective. It is something that has not been really thought out much, and identifying the right party to give an art scholarship, because artists are always perceived as being not so well off, and they're always much better on their demise. They pass on, all of a sudden they become very important, and so not many artists are able to, while they're still alive. I suppose a person, an artist that comes to my mind is something like saying Senaka Serenayaka, who still, while he's alive, is really still very, very valuable. But if you look at Vincent Van Gogh or Lionel Wendt or George Keith or any one of them, during their lifetime, or Richard Gabriel, some of the 43 group people, they didn't get the value for the art that really they should have had, and sadly they had to pass before it really started becoming.
I think also remembering, I think we are looking at maybe publications, we are trying to set up the archive properly. There's some work there. We've now identified the space for it, where people can, researchers, anybody interested, can come and examine the archive properly. And that's very important to us. One of the things we're doing is we're doing a limited edition set of prints of Lionel Wendt around show here, which we are selling on archival paper. There's a set of 4 in it, and hopefully the money raised from that will help us to set up the archive. So that's something we're doing. Then we want to do a book on Lionel Wendt's work. There's talk of doing a Lionel Wendt permanent gallery of Lionel Wendt's work. So there's a lot of little ideas in our head that have to be brought to life.
Definitely. We're very excited about this because these are wonderful ideas and initiatives that definitely are timely, I believe. Anything you would like to tell our viewers about Kala and how they can...
My only is Dominique said something.
Yeah.
There's a lot to see, there's a lot to appreciate. They can sign up for a curated tour. And so my remark would be, I hope that people who see the discussion, children, school children, college students, seniors, whoever, you should come and have a look at Kala.
Certainly. Thank you for the very interesting and very enlightening discussion, and we hope to check out Kala as well. Thank you for
Thank you
joining
very
us.
much. Thanks.